This is another lesson for directed writing, and it is for informal letter. Let's look at the writing format for informal letter. So we have address of sender, which is on the right side, and then we have the date. Make sure that you spell the month in full. It is also on the right. Then we have salutation, always start with dear, and then you have normal paragraphing for your paragraph 1, 2, and 3. And then you sign off with your or yours on the right. And then remember to write your signature, which is also on the right. We have a question here, which is the SPM English 1119/1 paper 1. Okay, let's look at the question. Your friend from Australia has heard about Visit Malaysia Year 2020 campaign and mentioned his or her plan to visit Malaysia in his or her previous letter. Write a letter giving him or her important information about your country. So you must remember that it is a friend from Australia and it is Visit Malaysia Year 2020 campaign, and then you have to explain the friend is planning to visit Malaysia, and then you have to give important information. So this is the notes given. You have weather, hot and humid, suitable clothing, language spoken, you must give 2, language 1 and language 2, and then you have food paradise, and then we have cultural activities, places of interest, popular festivals. You have to mention 2, festival 1 and 2, and then you have accommodation, homestay, hotel, and then you have to describe people in Malaysia. When writing the letter, you should remember to lay out your letter correctly, address, salutation, and closing. So these are the format marks. Then develop all the points given. Give your own ideas when needed. Note, for your letter, you will receive up to 15 marks for the format and content points. So format will be 3 and content points will be 12, and up to 20 marks for the quality of your writing. So remember, format will be address, salutation, and closing. Then you have to develop all the 12 content points. And remember to add your own ideas. Okay, let's look at the format. We have, first of all, address of sender, 8 Jalan Setia Baru, Taman Setia Baru, 70100, Seremban Negeri Sembilan. And you have the date, 6 April 2020. So remember, for April, you have to spell in full. And then you have the salutation, Dear John. Let's look at content 1, which is the first paragraph. We have greeting and reason for the letter. So greeting, you can say hi. And reason, you heard about Visit Malaysia 2020, you plan to visit. Then you have to provide the information about your country. For example, there are 3 examples here. For content 1, which is the introduction. Hi, I received your letter yesterday. In your letter, you told me that you heard about Visit Malaysia 2020 on the local broadcast channel and you plan to visit soon. I am extremely over the moon reading about this. In this letter, I will provide information about my country. You can say, how are you? I hope you are in the best of health. I'm writing this letter to provide you with some information about my country, Malaysia. The last example, hi, I hope my letter finds you in the best of health. I'm happy to provide you with interesting and important information about Malaysia. Now we are writing the content, so we have the second paragraph. So we are using content 1, weather, hot, humid, and then content 2, wear suitable clothing, light, thin, material, cotton. You can use these ideas. Malaysia, as most Southeast Asian countries, is a hot, humid, and rainy place. If you are traveling to this area and aren't sure how to dress, here are some tips for wearing suitable clothing. Shorts are the most comfortable and cotton is probably the coolest fabric, which is also light and thin. But if you prefer long pants, stay away from heavy denim. Since the humidity can be quite high, evaporation cooling doesn't really work here. So the synthetic materials that are supposed to keep one cool and dry don't. For the next content, we have content 3 and content 4, language spoken 1. You can write write about national language, Bahasa Malaysia. And then for content 4, another language spoken, we can talk about Malaysia being a multiracial country, and then you have Malay, Chinese, and Indian dialects. So this is the example. Malaysia is a multiracial country. There are Malays, Chinese, Indians, and other races. This means that several languages are spoken in Malaysia, and then you can expect to hear quite a variety even if you're only here for a short time. The official language of Malaysia is Malay, officially known as Bahasa Malaysia. This is taught in schools and is the language commonly used on television and radio broadcasts, government speeches, and many more. You might get a bit confused the first time you hear somebody speak Manglish in Malaysia. It's an English-based creole unique to the country, mixing English with local dialects from Malay, Tamil, Cantonese, Mandarin, and other languages. For content 5, it is for food paradise. You can write delicious, famous, worldwide. Without a doubt, Malaysia has one of the top cuisines in the world due to incredible taste and extremely good value. When you blend together Malay, Chinese, and Indian cuisines, gastro perfection is inevitable. There is no denial, Malaysia is a food paradise. Restaurants open very early through wee hours in the morning. There is food for every budget. Content 6, cultural activities. So you can write celebration and festival throughout the year. You can use phrases or words such as colorful and merry. There is a National Day celebration and commemorates Malaysia's independence. You can also write for content 8, popular festival 1, Hari Raya, and then content 9, another popular festival, which is Chinese New Year, Deepavali, or Christmas. This is the sample paragraph. As Malaysia is a cultural melting pot, cultures and cuisines have blended throughout the country. Many days of the year are dedicated to religious and cultural celebrations in Malaysia. Hindu celebrations like Thaipusam, boisterous and lively Chinese New Year festivals, the national observed month of Ramadan for the Malays, where breaking the fast at food market is a favorite activity. The elaborate Christmas decorations in the mall, all of these are celebrated vivaciously in Malaysia. For content 7, places of interest, you have to name 2 places and give your details. Malaysia has diversity in landscapes, cultures, and activities. From walking around Penang's UNESCO-listed Georgetown and Malacca's historical core, to exploring isolated islands and spending time in Borneo's 130-million-year-old jungle, tourists have plenty of places of interest to visit in Malaysia. First, Malacca City, capital of Malacca State, oozes with history and culture. Featuring as a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 2008, the colonial city along the streets of Malacca attracts visitors for its architecture, food, and famous Jonker Street Night Market. Not only has this historical city experienced periods under the Portuguese and Dutch, but the 15th century Malacca Sultanate, which is widely considered to be the golden age for Malay culture. St. Paul's Church, Formosa Fort and Stadhuis, the official residence of the Dutch governor, are top attractions. Next, Penang always features as one of the top places to visit in Malaysia. The state, named after the Penang tree that looks like a palm tree, divides between Butterworth on the mainland and Georgetown on Penang Island. Georgetown is an open museum. The colonial district boasts a wide selection of British buildings, churches, and Fort Cornwallis. Content 10, we have accommodation, and another content 11 is also for accommodation. So you can write like homestay, cheaper, affordable, a hotel, more luxurious, and plenty. So it is up to you. Remember that you have to make elaboration. Let's look at the sample paragraph. The main accommodation of the traveller scene in Malaysia are guest houses. Located in popular tourist areas, these can range from simple affairs in renovated shophouses to modern multi-story buildings. In certain areas, homestay is available, whereby you stay with a Malaysian family, paying for your bed and board. Though facilities are likely to be modest, homestays can be a good way to sample home cooking and culture. Meanwhile, hostels range from the cheapest mid-range to high-end. Next, we have content 12, describe people in Malaysia. So you can write various races, ethnics, mixing pot of various cultures. Then you can write friendly and helpful. So let's look at the sample paragraph. Malays, Chinese, Indians, and many other ethnic groups have lived together in Malaysia for generations. All these cultures have influenced each other, creating a truly Malaysian culture. Malaysians are noted for their friendliness and warm hospitality. This is also probably why we have earned the recognition as the second friendliest city in the 50 friendliest cities in the world list. For the last paragraph, you can write hope or wish. For example, hope and enjoy stay, will have wonderful time in Malaysia and fond memories. The example paragraph is, I hope you will enjoy reading my letter. It is guaranteed to help you know Malaysia better. Don't worry about anything when you are here. I will arrange your visit here with my parents and friends so that your stay will be full of fond memories. For the last part, which is the format, we call it the closing. Remember to write, for example, bye for now, and then you can sign off by writing your friend, and then there is a signature, Ramli. Thank you. This is the end of the lesson for directed writing, informal letter. Okay, this is the second part, and I hope that the two videos are helpful for you in writing informal letter in your SPM examination. Well, best of luck, and then don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.